why did you choose to get into real estate in general? Like,
Well, the plain and simple truth was my wife and I, my now wife, we were working in a music industry, and the company we were foreclosed. And so at that point, being unemployed, it was one of those things where it was like, well, what am I going to do? And I was like, well, I kind of really like real estate. I like talking with people. I like working with people. And I had gotten into real estate in college at a class or two, and that intrigued me. So I was like, okay. And then at that point in time, Joe was investing in real estate down here. And quite honestly, someone told me what real estate agents got paid commission-wise. I can do math. And I was like, oh, that's good. I like that. And that's what got me into real estate.
have you ever heard like jokes about realtors, like that they aren't doing any, like people who don't understand the job that real estate agents do? Let's say that they're just getting paid for other people to buy houses.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. How would you guys respond to that? Like, I think I've seen, can't remember. It seems like I saw a clip from a show, because I watch a bunch of real estate stuff now because I have clients that are realtors. I saw some clip from a show where someone was like, I just found out a great job, a realtor. You could do it, they'll pay you, and you just get paid when other people buy houses.
I would say this. People always say, so tell me about the real estate market. So what's going on? Everybody knows a realtor. Everybody has an opinion about pricing or the market or where it's at. Whether you're buying or if you're purchasing a home or you're selling a home, it's most likely the number one or number two biggest investment of your life. So you want to have a pro, someone that's been doing it for a while. Christopher and I, we've been doing this for 15 years now, 15, 20 years together now, and we average over 100 sales units a year since 2014. So that's going on 10 years now. In any market, if you're making one of the biggest financial investments or selling one of the biggest financial investments you've ever had, why do you want Joe Schmo, just anybody representing you? We always refer to, if you're being convicted of murder, do you just want to get anybody to represent you? Or if you have, going in for open heart surgery, do you want to just have any surgeon helping you? So I think that, people can crack jokes about real estate agents and, used car salesmen and all that kind of stuff. Hey, maybe there are some real estate agents that are like that, but I want to make sure that if I'm spending that kind of money, I need a pro.
Well, I think you touched on it a second ago, and yeah, there are times it's going to seem real easy, right? And look, real estate isn't hard, but it's not an easy business to work in. And it's so interesting that you hear so many people that get into the real estate industry and they're, oh wow, I didn't realize it was like this. There are certain markets that make it look easier than other markets. And I think that's what's real important here, is that when you're talking about 20 years in business in this market, we have now been a part of so many different markets. This, for so many years, the market's been on a total upswing, and it's been very easy for people to sell real estate. Many people just do it on their own because it was easier. But if you're not adept to the challenging markets and you've never been through a challenging market, that's when the rubber hits the road. That's when you need a professional, because there's going to be a lot of things that, as an agent that didn't go through one of those before, doesn't know how to navigate. And I think when you said about open heart surgery, it could be very simple, but all of a sudden if something goes wrong during surgery, do you have the knowledge base to correct it?
Yeah.
So if you don't have the knowledge base in the real estate industry to be able to fix a situation, and I'm not talking about easy transactions, but when you have a challenging situation, if you don't have that knowledge, then that's going to cost somebody virtually hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars that's the importance, and that's the importance of having a professional. And I always just reference it this way: look, I brush my teeth every single day. That does not make me a dentist, and that's the difference.
I recently bought my first home, and we didn't use an agent, or we used the seller's agent, and it seemed like we were saving money, but then we had so many annoying issues after we got the home that I was like, never again are we doing that.
Yeah, you're looking for someone to look out for your best interest and to protect your interest. That's what you're hiring somebody.
Well, that's when you're talking about, you know, in some instances, like, you know, the last 2 years that we've had with regards to a real estate agent, it's like the transaction just happens, but you know, people start pushing back on either side. They're pushing back.
Sure.
You have to have that experience, that knowledge to be able to help either person, either side. And, you know, it's not just about, you know, pushing it through and give me my, you know, you're talking, you know, well, you get paid because someone else is spending money and you get paid for it. Yeah, but okay. I mean, you can certainly take that road, but, you know, it's not just about that either. I mean, you want to have someone that's going to help you. To your point, represent you, no matter what side you're on. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
No matter what industry you're in, you provide a service that someone else pays for, you get paid.
Yeah.
You go to McDonald's, the guy or gal who gives you the burger gets paid because they gave you the burger.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I don't feel that way. I just.
No, I'm just saying. No, I hear you.
And then, Joe, we still need what brought you to real estate?
Yes.
So what brought me to real estate? Ironically enough, I was selling my restaurant, and so I was at that point. I was living in Ocean City, and I was like, well, you know, maybe I'll buy a restaurant down in Ocean City. I'm selling mine, and so I come down. And at that point, Chris is a real estate agent, so I'm looking at a couple of different places in Ocean City, and I remember talking to this restaurant owner, and he was saying, you know, I start at 9 and I get done around, I'm done around 11, 12 o'clock. And I'm like, all right, 11, 12 o'clock. Now I've had my restaurant like 13 years, and I had phenomenal people. I was very fortunate, very blessed. I had great people working for me. I'm like, 3 hours a day. I'm living at the shore. I can deal with that. And he's kind of, you know, does that puppy, cocks his head and looks at me like, 3 hours, like, you know, I start at like 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning, at then 11, 12 o'clock at night. And I'm like, I'm not doing that again. Like I did that already. So ironically enough, so that night we were just kind of hanging out, and he's like, you know, a couple of beers, and he's like, why don't you sell real estate? So I'm like, all right, I can sell real estate. So took my license, took my course, and I would say the only caveat was that I did have to have a real estate coach, which I did. So we got a real estate coach, and which he was already involved with, and rest is history.
Yeah.
You know, that's so that was 2008. So you want to talk about getting in at the best time of real estate.
Speaking of challenging markets.
Challenging markets. My first year was 2008. So we've seen it all. You know, we've seen it this way, this way, this way, and this way. So we've got some experience there.